So welcome to another exploration into consciousness with the Earth Nouveau Hub Network community. Today we're going to start talking about the difference between a gift and a present. I was looking at this the other day. You know, we talk about giving somebody a present, but we talk about our gifts. We never say, oh, our presents. You know, we talk about our gifts, whatever the capacities that we have, the kindness that we are, and things like that. Now, what is the difference? The first question is going out to you is, what is the difference for you between a gift and a present? Do you have a difference? Just look at the energies when you think of a present and a gift. Is there a difference for you?
Well,
for me,
if you look at it,
no, it's just a synonym.
Lana?
well, if you look at it, a gift, when you're asking it in that way, the way you just asked it, is that I felt like a gift is something that you have, right? Something that you cherish, something that is innately within you. And a present is something that you give or you receive from someone else. And that's how I'm kind of perceiving it at the moment as you're asking the question.
Okay, cool. I want to dig deeper into this. Jennifer, how does it feel for you? Is there a difference between gift and present?
I think they can be used synonymously, like Jody was saying, or you could look at it the way Lana was saying it too. You know, like a gift, it can be an innate talent, something that you're gifted at. But you can also give somebody a gift. And a present is presented to you. And sometimes a present is being present. So there's always tricks in words and multiple ways that we can use words. So I think it depends on the moment.
The way I was looking at it was that when you talk about, you know, have you given a present, a birthday present to somebody? Well, the association with a present is very much like, okay, you got to wrap it up. It's something for a special occasion. And there's a celebration element to it. And then I was thinking, well, that's really interesting because present and gift, as you guys said, is actually the same thing. But how much do we actually wrap up our own gifts? How much do we actually celebrate the gifts that we innately have, as you ladies have been saying? How much are we actually using our gifts as a special occasion? And how much are we sharing our gifts with others? And that I thought was an interesting, you know, chat to be had. Because, you know, what is the difference between a gift and a present? What if there is really no difference other than the way we are actually putting it into context? And the content is the same, but how much? And that's the question really to all of us and the people gonna watch this at some stage. It's like, are you still hiding your gifts? Are you actually willing to share them? And part of that contemplation came through when I started doing my paintings, and there was no doubt in my mind that I had, like Jennifer, you said that once, the paintings told you have to share them. You have to share them because people need to see them. They need to, you know, not evaluate, but find, you know, what they see in them and things like that. So you're sharing your gift with joy. And how many people actually have a problem to share their gifts? Because it is a gift from you because you put it together. You, the avatar, brought all your shards together, brought all your paints together, put them together, and created that piece. So you're sharing your gift with joy, with ease, for the benefit as a contribution to others. And then, of course, the question is, yeah, how many people are out there, or let's talk about ourselves as always, how much are we still holding on to our gifts because we actually have wrapped them up so precisely and deeply and fully that we don't even know that we have them.
We're just now starting to unwrap them. We're starting to see them. And it takes a lot of, well, for me anyway, it took time for me to get comfortable sharing them. And it came in stages, like putting my artwork out there and then starting to join a platform like this. And then it took me a while to get comfortable actually speaking. And so, like, for me, that comfort level in, because I think what you're really getting is the gift of your emanation, right? Sharing the authenticity of who you are and emanating the frequency of who you are in a place where other people can experience that. And I mean, maybe other people come like the Kool-Aid man crashing out of the wall. I personally didn't. It took me time to get into a comfort of being able to share more of who I am.
Absolutely, because we have all these, the programming. It's like, is it good enough using a painting, for instance, or writing a piece of writing, or, even is my voice, lovely to listen to, all those things where we actually make ourselves less instead of wrapping ourselves up or unwrapping ourselves and really seeing the celebration in the sharing. And it's no longer, I think that a change has happened. We're no longer sharing from a place of, sharing is not necessarily caring. I've never been a big fan of that, because there was always this piece of oversharing, being over emotional, having expectations, trying to influence the outcome and all of that. And very often giving too much information that the other person couldn't hear. But there's a different kind of sharing that is coming through now. And I think in this show today, we want to acknowledge that different kind of sharing of joy, that different kind of sharing of authenticity. And also there is a surprise element, because with the energies at the moment, yes, we are more tired. We're going through lots and lots of transformation, but what is that transformation doing? It's allowing us to unwrap certain gifts we didn't even know that we have. There is this element of surprise, which takes us back to giving somebody a present. It's almost like we're being now surprised by all of a sudden starting to do things that we didn't do before. We didn't even know that we could do. Do you find yourself saying things that you didn't say before, doing things that you didn't do before? And when I say before, could be last week, last month, last year. All of a sudden, maybe eating things that you haven't eaten before, as that integration of those soul shards is coming together. Maybe old patterns are reoccurring, resurfacing. I find myself smoking again. What the hell is going on? Right? And it's like, oh, do I judge myself now? No, it's just interesting. It will stop again. But there is something going on. The old is coming through. It's like the wrappers are coming off. And as the wrappers are coming off, you still got to attach the wrappers. You still got to tear them apart, right? You still got to take them off. Is there something in your lives that has surprised you about yourself that's coming through that you didn't acknowledge before?
I've gotten a lot more comfortable. Go ahead, Jody.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was going to say something totally dumb.
Yeah, no, I'm certain that that's not true. Like I've been very comfortable as a healer, and I wouldn't call myself an artist, but I don't counter that when somebody calls me that anymore. But I've gotten a lot more comfortable with being psychic and just sharing with people what I see about things, because for a long time I would withhold a lot of what I see because that's not really how I wanted to identify myself. But it comes so easily and quickly now that it's just so matter of fact. It's as normal to me now as like the envelopes on my desk. And so that frequency and that part of who I am, whatever concern I had about how that was going to be perceived in my outside world, I don't really care about it anymore. And I find that the people around me that there's no judgment of it. There's a curiosity, but not a judgment. And when I say something now, like, people listen.
Fabulous, fabulous. There is a present in your gift. You're making your gift into a present. So it's a huge for me, it's a huge difference between a gift and a present. Because you're actually, the gift is something, like you guys said, you might have it innately, but you don't know, or you don't care, you don't acknowledge it, you think it's normal. As soon as you bring it out and you start moving it and you start contributing with it and you start putting it into a connection, a relationship, then it becomes the present.
And going back to the playing on words, it becomes part of my presence.
Yes.
That's kind of what I thought about in the first instance when you presented the topic. And I'm thinking a person who has assist in healing someone else, the gift is within that person to help another. So what you're doing is like regifting your gift. And when someone, you're facilitating someone in their healing, you are regifting your gift. It becomes a present for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what we've been saying. It becomes a present in the presence.
Yeah.
Gifting the gift becomes a presence in the present. I love it. Jody, say your dumb thing, which I'm sure is not dumb. Come.
Yeah.
To us.
Oh, yeah. So something you said made me kind of giggle. You said, is there anything that you've been doing now that you never liked before? And it flashed into my mind, yeah, bell peppers. I've hated bell peppers my entire life. And all of a sudden, the past 6 months, I've been craving them.
Fantastic.
As far as my gifts, I think my gifts are pretty mundane right now. I don't have any spiritual gifts that I know of. So I'm in the process of trying to discover that and trying to open my third eye so I can have access to the spirit world. But I think a little bit of fear of accessing those gifts is stopping me. And I don't know how to get over that fear, that roadblock, because it is blocking me. I do work all the time, meditations, I work with spiritualists, and I can, in my head, I can feel banging against this block. So I need to clear that.
Now, we can all have a little stab on that, if you like.
Awesome. So just first step is get more comfortable, like looking at yourself and looking into the camera, because you are a very strong presence and you have a very strong energy. Like, when you let that out, you're going to be really amazing. But right now, like, you kind of avoid yourself. And once you get more comfortable looking into yourself, like, a lot of that will start to come out.
Good advice. Good advice. I think my fear stems from, will I be able to control this new flow of information? So if I turn on my channel to the spirit worlds? Am I going to freak out because it's all coming out at me at once? And how do I put limitations up and whatnot? Because I know people that are really good at it. Like Tanya is just like, no, I don't feel like dealing with you right now, you know? But I know other people that it drives them crazy. And I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to control this.
So yes and yes. Yes, when you let it in, well, I mean, at least from my experience, it's all the time, and you do have to learn to dial it down when you don't want to listen to it, and it just comes down to setting boundaries and feeling comfortable with setting boundaries. But Tanya can help you with that. I can help you with that. So yes and yes.
I'd like to, in addition to that, I'd like to offer a different context, because I think everything that we are now perceiving as fear is, as soon as we change the context, the fear just gets blown out. Because the question I have, is it really fear? Or is it just something that you perceive as fear? Or is it a misunderstanding? So when we're changing the context, when you say the spiritual gifts, there is no such thing as a gift and a spiritual gift. It's the same thing as like, oh, I'm on my spiritual path now. There is no such thing as a spiritual path or just a path, because you are a spiritual being. And as a spiritual being, you have to be on a spiritual path. And as a spiritual being, you have to have a spiritual gift, because everything is spiritual. The bell peppers you eat is a spiritual act of eating. You know, the healing that Jennifer does is a spiritual act of healing. The garden that Lana is, you know, recreating is spiritual. Okay, so let's just take this layer out, which already blows out the fear, because forget about having to be spiritual, because you are. It's a no conversation. You can't even change anything about that. That's just an awareness. Consider yourself one thing. I've read this the other day. Sadhguru. I'm just reading Sadhguru's book about death. And this guy is just absolutely amazing. He is just so simple the way he explains things. Think of yourself as a soap bubble. That soap bubble is floating in awareness, is floating in consciousness, is floating in spiritual energy, if you wish. Which means inside the soap bubble is spirit, outside the soap bubble is spirit. The only thing that keeps you from recognizing that you are spirit, you always will be spirit, you always have been spirit, is that tiny, tiny wall of the soap bubble. And what you want to do from the inside out, you want to add more and more and more air to that soap bubble, that it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, by having experiences, by sharing your gifts, not even worrying about, is it a spiritual gift or is it a normal gift? Because everything is spiritual inside out. And at some stage at the end of your life, when you have filled up that bubble with so much air, so much experience, so much joy and grief at the same time, that bubble is just going to explode and you'll be spirit again. But you're always spirit. Okay? So you can try, Jody, to hold back, but frankly, you're not doing a good job. Because you are potent and powerful the first time we've seen you on this show. There's nothing you can hold back. Your frequency speaks for yourself. And there are other people who do a better job that come across as like, you can't even do that. You are already in your power. You are a spiritual, powerful being. Just blurt it out. Be who you are. Seriously. And let it flow, for God's sake. There are people out there who want to hear it. I want to hear it. We want to hear it. We've got hours here. Let it go. Let it come out. Permission slip. This is a place for permission slip. Yeah, there will be people who can't get you, but they can't get you now. even if you're holding back. And all you do is you're hurting yourself. It's like having an orgasm trying to hold it in. How long can you do that? Until your body starts shutting down. Find your peeps and just let it flow.
And I would say too, that this is probably the safest place to play with that and let that open up, because there's absolutely no judgment here. There's nothing but love and support in this group. And we all have our gifts, right? And they're all very different, and we present them in different ways. And it's nice to get different perspectives of how people let it in and how they use it and what it feels like to them. So this is a great place for it.
Yeah. This is where we don't wrap up presents, we unwrap our gifts.
And we're very glad you're here.
Oh, thank you all. I love the perspectives. And I am going to reshift my thinking into just understanding that I already am spiritual.
Yes.
I can explore, but I'm already here.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun the last year. Anything that I would normally consider myself afraid of, like I just jump right at it, like really stripping down fear, because what do we really have to fear? There's really nothing to be afraid of.
It's education. It's truly education. It's learning what living means. It's learning what dying means. It's learning what spirituality actually really is. And as soon as we have a bit of an understanding, the entire seeking stops. Yeah? The seeking stops. There's no more seeking happiness, because we realize that the gift of life is not about happiness. The gift of life is actually just enjoying what is, the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad. And as soon as we got into the mundane and into the ordinary, and we can appreciate the cup of coffee, the glass of wine, the pepper we're eating, and it burns the shit out. Yes, we are alive. That's what spirituality truly, truly, truly is. And that's the gift that you can pass on to people. If they want to receive it, that's a different story.
Right.
That's a different story, but receiving starts with us. Can we receive the intensity ourselves? And I hear completely what you're saying, because we all are very intense people. And we've been rejected from day one for the kindness that we truly be, because people could not appreciate who we are. And also all of us here, we have a capacity of seeing the problem right there. There's no hoo-ha about it. We go straight to the core. It's not easy for people to be seen. I don't know if you've had that gift given to you, when somebody actually sees you for who you are. It's whoa, wow, it's almost an intimate sort of thing. When somebody sees you for who you are and doesn't judge you and just is the space and is actually bewildered or excited to be with you because you are authentically you.
Had one of those moments.
Say again?
Had one of those moments on a tour of Cancun. The tour guide, old witch, and I mean, as soon as I walked up to the bus and I locked eyes with her, like I saw her and she saw me, and we had this like energetic mutual respect for the whole day, where we almost kind of orbited around each other, but we shared a lot of information energetically with each other. It was a really interesting exchange. But like anytime we made eye contact, like I see you, you see me.
Mm. And I love that, Jennifer, because you actually added a very important point here. I see you, you see me doesn't mean that I have to blah, 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 blah continuously. No, there is an understanding. It's a soul connection. It's a seeing from a different perspective. It's a giving and the receiving at the same time. That's where the gift is. I receive from you. I receive you fully for all your thoughts, for all your grace, for all your beauty. Yeah. And I think the only responsibility that we have for our own sanity is to surround ourselves with people who do see us. But I think the more clearing we have done, it becomes quite clear that the circle becomes smaller. The seen circle gets smaller. You maybe have only like 3-4 mates instead of 30-40 that you used to have. And then the one thing that happens as the seen circle gets smaller, the unseen circle becomes much bigger. And you start having conversations with your shards, with your hubs of interconnectivity, with your spiritual community, if you want to call it that, but with yourself that are occupying other realities, dimensions, and realms. And those, Jody, I think we're left for a little bit on our own here. And what I've been finding, you know, because it's quite, whoa, where are the people gone? I used to have masses of people around me, and all of a sudden you go into this, oh, I'm alone. Only to realize that you never actually are alone. Because you have created yourself an opportunity to have communications now with the unseen that you wouldn't have if you are continuously distracted by the seen world. So if you know that you have this flow that wants to come out, then allow it. You don't need anyone to listen to. You can make up your shards in the beginning until they actually become more visible or more tangible to you. The conversation that I've been having with my team, whoever you want to be in that team, you make it up. That's where the power of imagination comes in. And you have the most brilliant conversations with your shards. And this is how it begins. And then they start talking back to you. And then it gets to a stage where like your flow can have that expression, that realization. It's like you've unlocked something. And all of a sudden you're no longer interested even to talk to the scene, but they are coming to you because for some reason you've balanced out your intensity to a certain level where whatever you have to say, you said already to yourself. And then you can sort of listen more to those who actually come that are in need of your energy contribution.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, because that's another thing I'm struggling with. I used to have a really strong friend group, and then the past 9 months, I really started pulling inward and focusing on myself and getting serious about meditation. I stopped drinking, and I got myself back together. And now I don't have friends. I'm down to like 3 people that will even make and keep plans with me. Everybody else is still talking to me. They just don't want to hang out. And I'm feeling pretty heartbroken about that, because it just seems like everybody all at once is pulling away from me. What's wrong? What am I doing wrong? That's, I think, the first thing that comes into my head.
Yeah, again, context. The question is not what am I doing wrong? The question is what am I doing right? So what's right about that? All right. And considering the intensity and the capacity from a soul perspective that you are, you can totally hack that. You can totally handle that. Because if there's so-called friends, and this is the thing where we need to really look at friends and friendship and slightly need to redefine what friendship actually is. Because the majority of those people, what happens is that your frequency has changed as you're doing the inner work, as you stop the drinking, as you do this, your frequency has changed to that level that literally they cannot connect with you anymore. Unless you have always a choice, yeah? You can connect to them, just have a glass of wine with them and you're straight there again. You can take your frequency level up and down to every level that you wanted to. The only question is how much of a gift is that to yourself? How much of a present is that to yourself? And how much of a present is that to them? Being the gift of doing the inward journey, because it's not just that they're missing you too, because you've been a strong influence. They've been living off your energy. Now they have to do it by themselves. Now the gift to them, the present that you give them by acknowledging your own gift, is that they have now the opportunity to sort themselves out. And also go inward, because the soap bubble cannot be blown up from the outside. Once you let it go, it's floating. You can't keep blowing in air from the outside. It will pop. You have to keep blowing it up from the inside. And you cannot collide with those bubbles on different levels because you will pop. And if you're floating higher and higher because more and more air is coming in, well, there are not that many soap bubbles up there because not that many have pumped themselves up to that. And this is not hierarchy. This is not I'm better. They are not. This is just making a choice for where you want to go in this lifetime. And this lifetime, and I speak for myself here, I've come here to clear all the memory, the genetic memory, the karmic memory, the collective memory that is connected to me, and all of that, ancestral memory, all that karma shit. So that next time round, or before I even leave, I can move into the death process with total consciousness and joy and celebration. I'm going to make the death process a present to me because I understand I'm spirit. I understand I'll always be spirit. And then I have other choices. I have other choices than coming back to school. We are supposed to be graduating. Doesn't mean that we can't come back, but we can come back on a different level. We can put a shard down here because our consciousness will be completely different. Now, that's a choice that you're making. Or you say, oh, I want to have a whole bunch of drinking buddies and I want to go out that's fucking distraction. I've been there. I've done that. And my body said no. My body said no. I would have carried on. I didn't think of spirituality ever. But my body said no from the very beginning because I was too sick all the time. Not from the drinking, but my body could not handle all of that. My body kept saying to me, come on. That's why I went into self-development. I never called it spirituality. I still don't call it spirituality. It means nothing to me. I make no distinction. I'm breathing. Same thing. There's an intensity the way we can live, the way we express ourselves. And not everyone can act that. I know, I've been there. But I don't go there anymore because now I know. I'm a shapeshifter. You're a shapeshifter. You can be that. You can be that. You adjust or you don't. You can adjust for however long you want to, and then you just retrieve.
So can I jump in here and say something now?
Please do.
So as you were saying, Jody, but I agree with what Martina was saying, that we're never not spiritual. We are always a spiritual being. We came from spirit and we remain spirit. So when you look at it from that perspective, you're raising your consciousness to be that brighter light within yourself and within your environment. So that is what and how you begin to lose friends and friendship with people. They're still your friends. You can call them up and say hi, but you find that they never hang out with you anymore and you don't know why. And that's only going to continue on. But look at that as a special gift to you, because now that you don't have so much friends to distract you, you can actually focus and pay attention to the actual person that you are, the spiritual being that spirit created you to be. And in that sense, you come to the point where you are become the individual who is friends with everyone and no one at the same time, right? This way you kind of wipe out all that judgment of like, I like you as my friend and I don't like you as a friend. Everyone becomes their friend and you become the friend to everyone, and you build on you, where you're sustaining your own being, self, and existence, where you don't have to depend on anyone anymore. All you depend on is yourself and spirit, your real friend. And spirit is everything, everywhere, all at once. So you become the friend to everything, everywhere, all at once, right? And then that like that bubble Martina was talking about, when you look at it this way in the Bible, it refers to it as a mist went up and obscured the whole face of the earth. So that layer there is that mist that is obscuring your vision from seeing the realm of reality correctly, to see everything correctly, the way it's intended to be. So as your light gets brighter, this mist is becoming thinner and thinner. And so eventually you'll get to the point where the veil of the mist is so thin that you can see right through it. And there will be nothing to stop you from popping that bubble. And you become one with everything. So don't give up on your journey, keep moving on, and don't worry that you don't have friends anymore. We're all in the same boat together. I can tell you that for a fact. But I know a lot of people, when they see me, they'll talk to me. But do you think they'll call me and hang out with me, or go out to dinner with me, or do something interesting with me? No. But they're still there as my friend, but the hanging out part, the being with them for several hours in a day or something like that, no, that does not happen. You wait forever for that to happen. It will not come. And so you're not alone in that. We all have that experience. So I wanted to share that with you.
Thank you. Thanks, Lana. Yeah. You can look at it from that perspective, that everyone's your friend, or you can also do the opposite and say, forget what, don't make friendship significant. I've had so many conversations with people said, look, I'm not your friend. I'm sorry. I'm here for you when you need something. I'm here. You can call me anytime, day and night, but I'm not your friend, because the way friendship is defined in this reality freaks me out. I'm here for you, but don't call me your friend. And also, if you want to unload your emotional blah blah on me, for the 5,000th time, sorry, I'm not listening. That's not friendship. That's not friendship. That's just you spewing your toxic shit on me. If you want to have a conversation so that we can analyze what's going on, so I can give you a tip that you can ask me a question, I can ask you a counter question so that you can have an awareness about something, so we can facilitate each other, then absolutely. And yes, I can listen to once, twice, but if I have to hear it third time, then I know where this is going. And I'm not that kind of friend because I don't consider that friendship. If you want to be my friend, then I'm here, but I'm intense. And if you're my friend, then I want to be able to help work with you so that we can both create something bigger, not drag each other down. See, this is where this whole thing starts already. Okay. This is where it starts, because we consider friends like, oh, I need to tell you all my problems. Yes, once or twice. A third time around, what have you done about it? You know? And that's the thing. This is where it all stops. No, you don't, you're such a bitch and you're so cold and this and that. Okay. Trust me. I've gone through, because I don't go to a friend. I've always worked out myself, everything. And I know if I can do it, then you can do it. And the thing is, interestingly enough, I don't, as we are intense people, because of our frequencies, we don't necessarily attract people that don't have the capacity to get themselves out. Yeah? Because frequency attracts frequency. If that frequency is now wrapped up so that they can't even feel it or perceive it, you can, or they can in you. So the potential is there. And when the potential is there, I'm a stubborn bitch. I will not let you go down. But you got to figure it out for yourself. And that's the thing. So like Lana says, they're doing you a favor, the gift. And also the thing is, it's not even that they're doing it consciously. Literally what happens, the frequency gap becomes so big that they fade out of your reality. They literally disappear and don't even know, oh God, I haven't seen Jody for so long. Well, no, because of the frequency. The signature frequency has changed so dramatically that everything just fades out. And this is the lovely thing. When you do the work, the separation of density does the work for you. You automatically lose there's the saying, what is the saying, girls? The chaff from the wheat from the chaff. It automatically spreads out. But this is also, again, this is how this world is, has already split into old world and new world. Again, there's no hierarchy and there's no judgment. It's like, they're going to carry on living in that world. You're going to on living in that world. And then we're going to move over there. Say, hello, how are you doing? And then we move back into our world. And then they come and say hello. Yeah. And what I find often is that people that you think you have lost, they've gone their path for a little while. They've learned their lesson. All of a sudden they come back. Whoosh, here they are again. Oh, I haven't heard from you for a long time, but their energy has changed. Now you have a conversation again. So it's usually the case, being that gift, that present for each other. Being, is that friendship, is that relationship still a contribution to me? Am I still choosing it? So yeah. And also with the gift, there's another thing, because I also looked at, when we give a present, it's always we always make an effort to give a personalized present, right? We want to give something personal to a person, to a friend, to a colleague or anything, to have some meaning. So how much more personal can it get when you share your gifts? your intensity, your kindness, your joy, your fun, your whatever comes out, your authentic you. When you start sharing that, that's a personalized gift. Can't get more personalized than, even your experiences. When you share your experiences, when you ask the questions that have a significance to you, that vulnerability, being vulnerable is one of the biggest personalized gifts that you can give as a present to somebody else. That exchange. That exchange that fosters relationships.
I mean, being a friend to someone is a gift, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just having you here, Jordy, being with us, week after week is a gift to us. You're giving us a gift by being here and being friends with us.
Oh, thank you so much. You're all making me feel so good today. Sorry, my boyfriend's in the background. He's setting up the AC unit because we are not used to this 80, 90 degree heat. So don't mind him. He's spiritual too.
We can't, we can't
Absolutely.
see him anywhere. It's all blurred in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I know, like, I see the movement in my own video.
Fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. And I think, so when we look at the innate gifts that we have, and we said early on, the surprise that all of a sudden we start doing things differently, certain, soul shards come in and present us with their gifts. Because you see, everything that we've discussed on the outside is happening on the inside. There is a continuous gifting and receiving from our various soul shards that are in different dimensions, realms, and even universes. And as, like Lana was saying, that bubble is getting thinner, we can see through that much better now. And we can start connecting through that. So we pick up memories from other lifetimes, because remember, everything's happening at the same time. So we're starting to pick up memories of, past lives where we had certain gifts that we have forgotten. Like, for instance, now me starting to paint. I mean, that was a gift that came out of the blue.
I mean, one good analogy I'm thinking about right now is think of a television set, right? We started out with black and white TV. Then we moved to colored television. But now the veil has thinned metaphorically so much that we have high definition television, right? The picture is so sharp that the veil has thinned so much that we're able to see the picture on the screen so much more clearer than when it started out from a black and white television, right? So our progress is like that. We're getting clearer and clearer views of what we're seeing again. And that is a natural way of being. We're supposed to see those things. We're supposed to see clearly. It's not supposed to be obscure. But we just happen to find ourselves in this situation where all things are obscure and we can't see anything. In this tiny little bubble with a thick layer, like a thick eggshell around us. And it's so hard to crack that shell, to get or to make that shell thinner, that we can see more clearly what's beyond that veil, that mist of obscurity that's hiding us away from reality.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you said something about fear early on. Fear is like, I mean, when you consider yourself in that soap bubble with the thin walls where you can see through, you have to have that trust of your inner knowingness. Yeah, otherwise you turn into like a golf ball, right? You got to get into the golf ball because you can be slapped all over the place. Do you want to be a golf ball, or you want to be a soap bubble floating up there, seeing through the veil, or you want to be smacked around the golf course?
I'd rather be the soap bubble,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
nothing holds you down. You're just free to fly up in the air,
exactly,
right? The golf
exactly.
ball just sits on the ground like a big pod.
Exactly. Oh, soap bubble. I'm thinking, you can even think of a balloon, one of those, what do you call these balloons? These
Helium,
high
helium
thingy
balloons,
balloons, where you actually, when to blow it up, when to let the steam out, and when you bring it back down. What do you call those balloons?
helium balloons.
Helium balloons. When you let it out, and when you turn it down, when you want to come down, when you go up. That's who we are. We have total control of how much helium we want to, spend and contract in order to move up or down or back or forth or that kind of thing. And you see, this is the other thing is, I think, again, this is where we have to reconsider the way of thinking, because we've actually haven't come here to be physical. And I'm not saying we should not enjoy our bodies or look after our bodies, or we should leave our bodies, but the body is just a tool to have all the experiences, to recognize that our destiny is not physical. Our destiny has always been to recognize ourselves as a spiritual being. That's the destiny, not the material possessions. And this is why it's quite interesting. The more we move into the realm of non-judgment, we no longer even seek happiness, because happiness itself is still a judgment. Because the spiritual being doesn't seek happiness, it knows it is. It doesn't,
Absolutely.
it doesn't see the
It is.
distinction between, and it doesn't get unhappy if something bad happens. So that in itself is an interesting way of different context. What if our destiny is not physical? And you got to watch out, because lots of people say, oh, you just want to leave the body. No, that's not what I'm saying. You got to be in the body. You got to be present. You got to enjoy the body, because that is the tool. This is the path to you understand. You're not here to live the most beautiful, joyful life. You're here to go through all the different experiences, to know at the end, before you're leaving, that you've done everything possible to resolve your karmic memories, so that you can be a better spiritual being, a more conscious spiritual being. So I think everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. That's the old Access clause. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. That's a tool, Jody, when you go into this is fear, this is this is that. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. You say that 3 times, and you've blown out whatever that was, that energy. Because everything now is the opposite of what it appears to be. We thought it was super, super important to be safe, to be this, to be that. All of a sudden, we realize, well, if I keep focusing on safety and security, I'm actually already dying, because I'm no longer living. because I'm more worried about retirement, about this and about that, instead of actually going out there, creating new stuff. Now, again, we're not taking away that our body needs to be safe and secure, but we're all at that stage where we have a certain level of that. And it's all about focus. Yes, that has to be in order. And then the focus has to go, what else can I create in my life? What else can I contribute to people? How can I share my authentic gifts? Have I unwrapped all my gifts? Have I celebrated all my gifts? Am I actually celebrating every single gift as is on special occasions, like daily? The fact that I get up in the morning, the fact that I can make myself a coffee, the fact that I have a job, the fact that I have a boyfriend, the fact that I, whatever that is, I can be on my own and feel super happy because I'm never actually on my own. Like I posted this morning, you know, the pen that I'm holding, I'm with my pen. I'm with my pad. It's not just about human beings. Everything is in connection. I'm with my cat. You're never alone. From a spiritual perspective, if you want to talk that, you are never alone because you are soul shard, connecting. You are the avatar, connecting to all those other, to your hub of interconnectivity. You can't be on your own. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here breathing. You need a liver, you need a heart, all the organs. They work for you, with you, as you. Everything you eat becomes a part of you, is in relationship with you. This is context. This is educating yourself. I'm so, no, bullshit. There's no such thing. What are you talking about? And that, not talking about you, Jody, but you know, when people come up with that, it's just changing the context of what's really actually happening. We're all on a spiritual path because that's what we've come here for millions of times. And now is the time to recognize that it's not the physical journey that is the destiny. That is just the path. That is just the key to have experiences. That's the tool. Your body is your tool. You will die. We will all die. That's the only thing that we really know. But then again, we're practicing death on a daily basis when we go to sleep. And we wake up the next morning. And it will be the same when we take our last exhalation. We keep existing. And that's a gift.
Can I make a correction there, Martina?
Please do.
You said we all die. It's not necessarily that we all die. It's the body that really dies. But we continue on. We as spiritual beings, we don't die at all.
I did
we
say,
never
yeah.
die.
We continue, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's the body that is left behind.
Yes.
So the tool is the tool that you give up the tool and you continue on until you find another tool.
Absolutely. And you know what? This is also interesting that the body that you take in your next incarnation is very similar to the body that you're having now. Because the body has the genetic memory, the karmic memory, all your memories, and it actually comes back in a very similar way. Doesn't mean that you have to be a woman again, it can be a man, but there's a similarity to that body. Even that is a continuation, because this is why we're having all these memories from our other lifetimes, because they are in the body.
Even if you come back as a cat or a dog, you'll still have
Yes.
a heart, you'll still have legs, eyes, ears, nose, mouth. You'll
Yeah.
still be doing the same thing. The process in the body will still be very similar,
Yeah.
right?
Now we got Herminia. Herminia, hi darling, are you there?
I'm mute because I have some noise background.
Okay, no worries. If we're talking about gifts, being the
Yeah.
gift and
Mhm.
unwrapping your own gifts and making them into presents
Well,
to be
you
shared.
know, by myself, I just look in the way how I can combine, the last information that we have been sharing about the gene keys and the human design, and at the same time integrating my light language to like it has some like a feedback, like a flashes or like maybe on time memories or using that language. And at the same time like a transmuting situation. And I look in the way how I can understand that process and how I can use it for my own evolution, right? And it's really that like contemplating right now in that this morning I saw the video about the lady, I don't remember, her name is Asha. She was with one of the um, uh, from the Indian master about the one that wrote the book Journey of the Yogi Journey. I don't remember the title right now. Any case, I having like for some reason it tapped on me memories from the the better information, the books, the ancient books, and she was explaining about the chakra and then how the chakra is not like looking in the physical way, looking in the energetic way, like a crown chakra, the heart chakra, like it's like a specific energetic manifestation for the physical body, but we're looking at a physical and not physical, it's energetic. And for some reason, I tapping on that is having me like a many more awareness and more peace, like a more like a relax and just listening and pay attention. The other day I went in in the front of my house and it was here I came out like at noon time just to take a little break and I was breathing and I felt the nature around myself and I saw the trees moving the leaf and I was like connecting on that environment and dragonfly just jumped on in front of myself and then of flipping in front of me and then I say hello, how you doing? And then he lands in the one of the branches and I say, what you brought to me? What you brought to me? How you doing? And I was like a normal conversation and then I extend my left arm and I put my hands close to it and then I look at it straight to its face. It was like a kind, this like a purple bluish color, very strange combination of colors. And then I looked at the eyes, it was like a connection between people that know one another. And it jumped in my fingers and I thought, oh my God, so thank you so much. I was so happy. I said, oh my God, yes, I had to pay attention. I had to pay attention. It was kind of unique. I kind like a right now I have like a boost in my body, my back. Just remember that. And it was just last week. I say on Tuesday. Tuesday night. Yeah, it was just now. And then I said like, oh yeah, and then I had to pay attention to that because for some reason I can recognize that I had that maybe knowing from ancient time how to be integrated to the whole surrender. That is not like the crazy separation that we have programmed in this physical body. That we are connected with everything, but we don't pay attention. I'm looking the way how I can integrate it and recognize it and be part of that, not just like in one moment. I know I cannot be that in that, in that stage every moment we're going to experience in physical life. However, looking the way to having more presence, more awareness about that. You know, it's like, I'm really looking forward to be able to integrate the live language translations and the surrounding around me, trees, insects, everything that has life in this planet. I think that we can step in and have a connection. And that's really my goal right now, looking the way how I can be our awareness with that, you know, not just like a scattered time, but be more precisely to be pay attention to those moments. Really was I really looking for right now.
Well, and thanks for sharing that, because that is a very personalized gift that you've just shared with us and all the people that are gonna listen to that, you know. And we were talking about connections and, you know, that kind of exchange, gifting, you know, your awareness and your presence with the animal kingdom and, you know, being fully received at the same time calls for celebration, because, you know, having a dragonfly land on your hand is actually quite a special thing, because they're not very open, right? To jump around onto people's hands. You have to be a certain frequency of openness and presence in order for them to do that. And that, I think, is the gift, the present, the dragonfly actually gave you in exchange for your presence and your level of awareness. And that is celebration. And that's our topic today. Gifts turning into presence in order to celebrate.
Yeah.
Personalized gift. So thanks for sharing that. And, you know, you may think, oh, well, you know, that's not important. That is important. That is important, because if somebody gets out there and tries that and have a dragonfly, as you say, it just makes your body vibrate. That kind of exchange between, you know, such high, because a dragonfly is a very high frequency.
Yeah.
And you got to match that, baby, in order for have her come onto your hand.
Yeah.
So well done you. Well done you.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like you said, we don't pay attention that because we have it, we don't think that is important, or it's nothing. But it's now that you mention, I had to really recognize it and just to step in without, you know, hesitating from that, because I think I shared with Amy a couple weeks ago that I was in this situation and I trying to just let it go and just forgetting, went outside and like a hummingbird came in front of my face. It was flipping so fast. And I said, oh, how you doing? And it flipped from my face, flipping in front of me. And then went straight, you know, the hummingbird feeding that I didn't put anything this I didn't do any last year. I didn't do it this year. And then when this came, that happened a couple weeks ago, I said it came from my face, flipping in my face, and went straight to the hummingbird feeders in the garden. And I said, oh my God, it was flipping in front, just like telling me you didn't do anything last year, you haven't done anything this year. It was like I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't put any feeding this year. And it was like those things that is for me, it had teaching me right now that maybe I'm looking outside. I haven't looking inside myself, you know, putting attention to more to what people say outside than what I can feel inside myself or what I can do myself, you know. I've been catchy to looking for information, and maybe I just need to relax and pay attention to my own thing. That's what I guess in my myself.
Yeah. But in the beginning, when you weren't here yet, we talked about that. It's, you know, we're coming out of our heads now and going for experience, you know, experiencing those kind of things. And it's like, you know, the quality of life is is not about what you know, it's about how you feel. But also
Yeah.
how it's about, okay, so it's two things maybe. It's about sometimes, you know, the knowingness is important for you to turn the knowingness into wisdom, and then the wisdom turn it into experience, and then the experience into feeling. It's no point, you know, and that's what you're actually saying. It's really, that's the quality of life. And, you know, when you say to people, I had the best day today ever because I had a chat with a hummingbird, and they probably think you're utter, you know,
Yeah.
ludicrous.
Something wrong with you.
Yeah. But your body has told you, you know, you felt really, really good. And that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. And this is what, again, we said early on when you weren't here, this kind of conversation you can't have with everyone.
No.
People won't listen, won't get it. But then you can have it with us, you can have it with people that can receive that kind of information and appreciate the importance, the significance, the joy, the grace in all of that.
Yeah. Yes, because we're looking for complication all the time. That's my understanding, that we are looking for more complication, and life is more than what is happening outside. What's really we feeling in the moment. Because for myself, I get caught up sometimes trying to looking for solution for something, and maybe I just need to sit down and just relax. That's and to receive the response and the answer to whatever I try to do. Yeah.
I think it's time to stop trying to be happy, to stop trying to be all-knowing, to stop trying to be spiritual, to stop trying to be without fear, and just be wherever you are in the moment. And as you say, Herminia, listen, connect with everything.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So gifts, turning your gift into presence. We've done really well, girls. We're almost coming to the end of it. So let's do some closing. Don't want to call it a statement, but closing round. Turning your gift into presence. What kind of pearls of wisdoms do you wanna add to the end of our conversation today? Turning your gift into presence, and share them. Hello, sharing, because we want to be inspired. We don't care. Yeah, it has to be shared, and this is why we've been doing this year 5.
But you know, for my point of view, for myself, is just pay attention to what I feeling, what I know that is true for me, is instead of looking for validation outside. That's to trust what making me feel good, and my knowingness that nobody can say it. I have to say it myself, that knowingness.
Yes. And that's personalizing your gift, because your awareness is, and we all have that gift, is our awareness. The more we personalize our awareness, which is, it's not an act, a conscious act, it's actually something that happens automatically because we filter the levels of awareness through our own personal filters. And this is why there is no hierarchy, and this is why there is no competition, because every single one of us will filter their awareness in a different, channel it through a different gift. Even we all have 20 artists on this show. Even if you do, we all have different paintings, different writings, different food, different communications with different animals, all of that.
There is no competition.
No, not such
There's room
thing.
for all of us to explore and play together, and it's amazing to appreciate other people's gifts. in the information that other people bring through. Because when I look at your paintings that you post, I almost instantly hear a song. Like they spark more of a song than a title for me. So it's not so much about what I see in it, it's what I feel in it. But that's what you're trying to bring through. It's like the message, the emotion, right? And it'll be different for everybody.
Yeah. Fabulous. Okay, well, I want to thank you for, showing up on a weekly basis, having the determination, having the joy, the passion to keep sharing. And yeah, I look forward to our next gathering. Thanks for being here, ladies. I'll see you soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Keep sharing your gifts. Bye.